Hi guys, welcome to our today's video. And today I want us to talk about some of the things that we should all know about marriage before we get married. Okay, and so I'm doing this video actually like responding to a comment that I got in my previous video, right? And so what the person said is it was actually talking about commitment and how everyone should be ready for marriage, for better, for worse, even before they get right into it, right? And so I thought and realized that sometimes we get married before we are fully aware of what we are signing up for, okay? And so I thought it wise for us for me to do this particular video to show you and to tell you some of the things that are very important for every person to know before they get married. All right. So my name is Elizabeth Ndanu. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would politely request you to do so. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the support. For the love and for your comments, I really appreciate. Okay, and so if you're new here, I am going to quickly take you through what this channel is about. And so what I do is create a very safe space for single parents, so that when you are in a relationship that is not working, you do not find it difficult to just get out. All right, and so I have been doing a series of some of the things that we need to watch out for, because I believe that one of the ways to handle a problem is to sort and to deal with the root cause in the first place. All right. And so I have been doing a series of videos and showing ways in which that we can be able to be sure, because I believe that marriage is work. All right. Love is a very beautiful thing. I believe that it works. But there are some things that we need to ensure that we watch out for, so that we do not end up with broken marriages. Okay. So there are so many. In fact, the divorce rate right now is really high, and I guess it's because I think I can do another video just to do a better research on some of the reasons as to why marriages are breaking, and why the rate is really high at this particular point and day and age. Okay, but in this video, I am going to be talking about some of the things that we need to know before we get married. Okay, before we go to that particular point of getting married. All right. Uh, right. So stay tuned. So, and the first thing that everyone needs to watch out for or needs to know is that before you get married, you need to have spent enough time with that person. Okay, so if you meet someone today, there's some who are really lucky. All right, so there's some marriages that just work. Like I know someone who said that they met their person today, and tomorrow, I don't know, like in a week's time, they were married. And so that didn't make sense to me. Okay, so but because it's working, we'll see that there's some that work. All right, but most, and one of the reasons, the major reasons as to people end up breaking, is because they did not take their time to know the other person better. All right, so take your time, right? Do not again take a lot of time, because then again, 10 years of time of waiting, 5 years is a lot. But I would advise every person to take their time to understand this person. Just know how they react to stress. Okay, how they react to different scenarios like death, losing jobs, it's just, and all that, because then again, you don't want to end up in rehabilitation centers every now and then. Okay, you need to be very sure how this person handle their stress, and again, be sure that you are ready and capable to manage them during those particular periods and know ways in which that you can handle them. All right, so because if you are getting married to a person that you do not know, the higher are the chances that if perhaps he's not doing well financially, or if he loses his job, you might not know the best way to handle him or her, and so there's going to be conflict, there's going to be a broken marriage for sure. Okay, so just get to spend some time with the person, know them, give yourself enough time. And on this one also, it's important, when you're in the process of dating, when you're dating someone, ensure that you do most of the things that you like to do, outdoor activities that you can do. Because trust me, when the kids come, you will not get the time to do all that, right? So just get enough time, go out, go camping, take road trips, not this person, okay? And then at the end of the day, you'll have gotten enough time, you have known them, you know what they like, you know what they don't like, you know how to handle them in different situations, okay? So that is my point number one. Get to know this person better, understand them better. You will know best how to handle them in the future in case there is a problem. Right. So looking at point number two is that when you're getting into marriage, let's say counseling is a must. All right. So, or should I say therapy? It is a must. Okay, so you want to ensure that you have gone through enough counseling, you have sat down with someone who has enough experience, not just anyone. All right, so and avoid taking going to people that perhaps they know, because they may not be able to open up as you'd want them to. So take them to someone with experience whose profession is that. There are people who are trained to make our lives better. Okay, so just go to that person. That way, you will have had enough time to handle all the traumas that the person might have. And then again, they become more aware. The two of you become more aware of yourselves, and you are sure that indeed that is a decision that you want to make, okay, as opposed to getting married and sometimes after you realize that you just needed some companionship, like you just needed someone to be there because you're going through some difficult situation, right? So ensure that you go through therapy. That way you're able to have someone who can talk to, they can advise you, they can tell you, they can actually handle in the best way possible some of the traumas that the both of you could have. And then trust me, that is going to make your lives way better, very way. I mean, you would not compare yourself with someone who's just gotten into it. Like you see, many people get married, and it is after the marriage that they realize they're already in the marriage. And when you seek therapy, perhaps maybe when some things are not going right or as you expect them to, then you seek some assistance, you realize that it would have done a huge difference if you did that at the beginning, not when you're already in it. But when you're in it, of course, it's right, it's okay, you can always do, because then again, as I say, when you find yourself in a pit hole, just stop digging, right? So if you find yourself in a situation that you are sure that you need someone to talk to, seek therapy, seek counseling, go look for life coach, okay, and talk to someone. I know that it could be expensive, but it's important for everyone to deal with your traumas, and that way you are going to put yourself in a safe space to deal with the other person, right, as it's supposed to be. All right. Um, so that's point number two. And now let's look at point number three. Point number three is that the two of you, before even you get married, it's important for the two of you to have agreed on some particular important topics, right? Be on the same page on important topics. And I would say some of these would be like, say, your faith. All right. So if you are someone who truly believes in going to church, taking time to read the Bible, going for Bible study, and then you get married to someone who does not see that as an important task, all right? So it's not something that they prioritize in their life. So there's going to be a lot of clash at the end of the day. So you need to be sure that even if perhaps you are not identical, like you're not assuming that you're getting married to someone who's a Muslim and you're a Christian, okay? I don't know how that would work, but assuming that situation happens, you need to be on the same page on, I am going to be spending this time in church. I have to go do my Bible study, all right? So that there's no any clash. So just be on the same page, understand how you plan and you intend to work that relationship, as opposed to getting into it and assuming that things would automatically flow, okay? Because that never works. It just never works. I mean, just sit down, understand, be on the same page. And another very important topic to be on the same page on is finances. Okay, so finances and bills and who's gonna do what, who's gonna do. So have you seen some ladies totally believe in sharing bills, but others believe that the man's money belongs to the two of them, but the woman's money belongs to herself. Okay. So those are different people. And if you get someone who is okay with either, it's fine. But I was having another conversation. There's a content that we shoot, I think, sometimes back. I am going to be uploading that very soon, perhaps in the course of next week. or Sunday, this week, all right? And what this lady said was very important. She mentioned that when you are in a relationship, sharing of bills should be 100-100, all right? Hakuna kupeana nusu nusu. So ensure that you are giving your 100%, I mean, into ensuring that things are working, okay? So if this man is able to do up to 70%, then you as a lady, if you're capable to do the 30%, why not? I mean, just do it. So the 30% might seem 30% to that particular scenario, but for you, it is your 100%. That is the best that you can do, okay? So it's important for, it's just complementing each other. But what I'm saying is understand and sit down and agree on finance, this particular that particular aspect. Or if you're getting married to someone who perhaps has debts and you do not have any, so understand how you plan to settle that debt and also continue, supporting the family. Or if it's like joint accounts, do you plan to have joint or separate accounts? If it matters, because in most cases you'd find one person is indeed someone who spends a lot of money, and the other person is someone who believes in saving a lot of money, right? So how do you intend to be compatible and to like be on the same page on how you intend to move forward? Okay, so do not assume that things are going to flow. Assumption kills it. Don't assume. Sit down with a partner, understand, plan, and know how best you can handle any situation in case it comes. All right. Another important topic to agree on is on the timings in which that you intend to get kids. When do you intend to get kids? Is it now? Is it later? Do we need to accomplish some things here and there before we get our kids? Agree on those particular very important topics. Do not make any assumptions. Because assumption would bring expectation. All right. So you're expecting this person to perform in a particular way. And if it's not forthcoming, then you feel offended. Okay. So just agree on those topics before you get married. And you can also include other people, like, or as you're doing your therapy or you're doing your life coach, you can agree on those particular topics. So you can discuss and get advice on those particular topics with by another person, all right? And another thing that I forgot to mention, very important, if you are agreeing on particular, say, having a joint account or a separate one. So if you have seen a friend of yours and the relationship is working and they are having a joint account, okay, do not expect your other partner to agree to that, and do not feel like it's not romantic for the both of you to have separate accounts. Okay, so what I'm saying is, do not compare yourself with another person. If something is working for another person, it might not work for you. Just ensure that you're on the same page with the person, sit and agree. Like, show the person the sense. If you believe in something, just convince them and it's going to work. All right. So, but do not, it's the same thing as when you're going for therapy. Do not expect that you guys are going to end up together after the therapy. All right. So, after the life coach, you might realize that perhaps maybe you're not ready, and then you decide to call off quits, to, decide to end that relationship. All right. So, when you're seeking that again, do not have expectations. Just go with an open mind. Okay, that anything could happen, because with self-awareness you might realize that you're not ready, you might realize that that is not a person for you, blah blah blah, and all that. So do not have those particular expectations, right? So let's look at the next point. And the next point, actually, the next point is very important because most people end up being caught up in that. Because, okay, the next point is that perfection is just not possible. There is no things as being a perfect wife or a perfect husband. There is no, right? So perfection is not really, it's impossible. We are all human beings, all right? Um, we get tired, we get fed up, we get hungry, and how we handle all these different scenarios is totally different. And so if you are beating yourself because you feel that you're not performing as a woman or as the wife, higher are the chances that you totally not again now perform as a wife. All right. So if again you're beating yourself as a husband, feeling that you're not doing your best, higher are the chances that now you'll start dropping the ball big time. Okay. So perfection is just never, never possible. There is, it's only God who is perfect. All right. there is no human being who is perfect. And that is where now the issue of commitment comes in. You have got to commit. Ensure that you are ready to handle this person with their imperfections, and first understand those particular imperfections and be able to know how to handle them during those times. But it is not it's not a window to like give up, all right, on that person, because no one is 100% perfect. If someone has their weaknesses, it is only romantic for you to deal with those weaknesses, all right. Love them with their imperfections, understand, take care of them, and be kind, all right. Have that particular grace to be able to handle any scenario that comes your way, all right. So as you're getting married, please, as a man, understand that the woman is not perfect. She could make her mistakes and deal with that with a lot of politeness and a lot of kindness. As a woman, know that the man is not perfect. He could make his own mistakes and handle that with a lot of grace. All right. So just be gracious to yourselves and be understanding. So what's that one? Okay. So now let me go to my last point. My last point is that as a woman, you have got to, not even a woman, as even the gentleman, let's ensure that we are praying for our relationships, all right? This has come here on the last point just to close all what we have discussed. Without prayers, it is never going to work. Ensure that you're praying for your partner. Ensure that you're working and praying for your relationship. Ask God to be amidst your marriage. Set your alarm, all right? Wake up at 3 a.m. and pray for your relationship to work. Pray for no hindrance to come your way, because these are things that are happening. It has happened to other people. It could happen to you. But with prayers, everything is possible, right? With prayers, you can work your things out. With prayers, you can love yourself each day differently, right? Because then God gives you the grace to see this person in a manner that, of course, is favorable, and just God again opens your eyes to seeing that and to understand and to know ways in which that you can commit more. And so ensure that you're praying for your relationship every day, every day. Let's never give up, all right? Even if you feel like the world is just crumbling, the best way to do it is just to pray. It has a way of, you know, putting away evil spirits and demons. All right. It shows you again, if you pray for your relationship, you're able to see when someone is giving you a wrong advice. So you're able to discern and see and be like, I am not going that direction. All right. So because when you get married, you're going to be getting so many advisors. But when you they'll come and start telling you how you're supposed to handle your woman or your man. But in most cases, you might be misled. Okay, you might be easily misled if you are taking those particular advices, and in most cases just sit down and think, is this particular decision towards building my relationship, or is it towards breaking it? All right, so if you start building your relationship, then understand also, is it how, what is the best way in which that you can execute it? Okay, so yeah, I mean, prayer is just the mother of everything. Let's pray and keep on praying for our marriages to work, and for ourselves to understand the other people better, and all that is going to be perfect. So, as I mentioned earlier, I in this channel I am trying to, and I've been doing a series to see ways in which that we can ensure that we are not ending up with broken marriages, right? But as I do that, I want everyone to know that if you find yourself in a relationship that is not working, and I'm talking of, from a point of, if you are with someone who is physically abusing you, all right? So because it's happening, someone who is beating you, someone who is draining you, I mean, it's not worth it. Someone who is drawing you away from God, it's not worth it. So ensure that as you're seeking your partner, you're seeking someone who is drawing you closer to God and making you a better person, all right? Making you a better person. Actually, I think that should be um, another point to add. Think whether, as before you get married, think whether this relationship is worth it. Is it worth your energy? Is it worth your effort? Is this person making you a better person, or is he or she making you just a shell of yourself. I mean, just ensure that it's that particular relationship is worth it. It's worth your effort. It's worth your time. It's worth getting kids. Like, because there's going to be a lot involved. You marry someone and you become one. So his people are your people, and your people are his people. So it's important to ensure that it's indeed worth it. How has this relationship changed you as a person? When you've been dating with this person, how well did you develop? What skills did you develop? What habits did you develop? Are they good? Are they bad? All right. So that you're able to know whether if you get if, okay, you're able to know whether you're getting yourself into the right space. Excuse me. So think, is that relationship worth it? All right. If it's worth it, then give it a try. But if you come sit down and realize that it's just draining you, it's making you, it's not giving you the energy, you don't have the positivity, you don't have the better view of life as you had previously, then know that you're in the wrong place. Okay. So those are the things that we need to all look out for before we are getting married, or things that we need to know before we are getting married. In my next episode, I'm going to be talking about some of the um, reasons as to why most marriages are breaking. Okay, because they are so the rate that we have broken marriages is too high and indeed alarming. All right. So yeah, thank you so much if you have been with us up to this particular moment. I really appreciate. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would politely request you to do so. Uh, I am going to be bringing you, great content that you're going to be happy about, and especially towards ensuring that you're building your relationship to the right direction. All right. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Elizabeth Ndanu. Until next time, bye.